better not go through to get the matchup we wanted. Um, but gosh, my goodness. So the next match that we have coming up for you guys, it's going to be from Team CERN. It's the Supreme Kai, who's got Druid, Paladin, and Mage that he's been piloting all day. And on the other side of the board, it's Killing All Day with Rogue, Mage, and Hunter. And with a name and a lineup like that, I got to believe that these are some decks that are aimed at burning your face as quickly as you possibly.
Just all aggro.
Yeah, I mean, if your name is Killing All Day and you are not all aggro, come on, man, you're doing it wrong. You gotta represent. You gotta do it right. Like if you're, it's like the guys on like when I used to play League of Legends, there was a guy whose name was Only Random, and he would literally only random. He would random a character every single time. The day that guy actually picked a character, he's done. No respect.
Hey man, he might be playing Fatigue Mage. Think about it, killing all minions all day, dude. Because each match just takes all day, right?
Oh no! Oh, that'd be awful. So Supreme Guy's going to be the top player. He's got Paladin lined up for you, and on the bottom is Killing All Day with Rogue. And looks like our end is a little bit frozen on this one. Yeah. So I'm going to take a look and see what happens. So as soon as we get our feeds back, we'll be ready for you guys. But so Rogue has kind of been a deck that's really developed a lot lately. It used to just be kind of all over the place before the Undertaker nerf, which I think is actually kind of ironic because Rogue had one of the best answers to Undertaker. And then post Undertaker nerf, you're seeing Rogue like really start to make a strong comeback. What changed?
Well, I think it's Rogue had a really good answer to Undertaker, right? But it has even easier answers to just minions that are always 1 to 2 health, right? So I think it's just the same matchups that are even better now because you don't have to worry about Undertaker.
Actually makes a lot of sense. So now instead of having to invest like backstab and SI7 agent into like 2/1s and
right, yeah,
2/3s, you're able to use those cards to deal with 3/2s and 4/3s and stuff, and so on and so forth. You're scaling better because you're not having to waste those cards earlier. You're able to use them through the mid game, and that buys you enough time to get to like big Violet Teacher turns, landing safe Azure Drakes, using sprint and the cards you draw from it, etc.
Yep, and you're also not having to jam heals into your deck because you take too much damage from Undertaker.
Yeah.
So you could get away with only running 1 Farseer. Some people don't even run any, and they're still okay because they can answer proactively. And they still take charge damage, but it's not as much as it used to be.
Yeah. So Ship's Cannon going to be gotten for Supreme Kai. No pirates available, though. What a big mistake. I mean,
hey, man, there might be a green skin.
Yeah, why aren't there 2 South Sea deckhands in this deck? I mean, you got weapons. You got weapons all day. So just going to deal with Violet Teacher straight away. And I think Gillen is pretty happy to see this second copy of Piloted Shredder. True Silver Champion doesn't answer that card too terribly efficiently. And with another Piloted Shredder and a sap to go afterwards, I think he's pretty happy to see what's going on. So instead, it's probably going to be Piloted Shredder. Though. Yeah. So it's probably going to be Piloted Shredder, and I charge that dagger to get stuff back on the board. Acolyte of Pain is sort of an interesting addition. This is a card that I've seen kind of go in and out of this deck.
Yep.
And sometimes I see 2 copies of Lay on Hands, not because you actually need 2 copies of Lay on Hands, but it's just to make sure that you draw a copy of Lay on Hands at the turn 8 mark.
Right.
So when I see Acolyte, I imagine
Wild Pyromancer, right? Yeah.
I think it does indicate Wild Pyromancer often, and I think it certainly says that there's only at best 1 copy of Lay on Hands.
Yeah, because you can't really afford to have too much card draw, because the games usually do go really late, and you might even be focusing control decks with this kind of version.
Yeah.
So you don't want to draw too much. Who do you think's favored in this matchup?
I would tend to think the Rogue is.
Yeah.
I think Rogue
is it because of Fan of Knives?
I think it's more so just because of the way the minions line up, actually. I think between Azure Drake and Violet Teacher and Piloted Shredder that you just have so many threats your opponent has to deal with that when you guys kind of go 1 for 1 the entire step of the way and then you have sprint to reload afterwards that you end up with an edge.
Right. Yep, that's fair. especially if they run 2 sprints or even like auctioneer plus sprint.
Yeah.
I've seen both variants going around.
Wow, he's actually looking at preparation this turn. And he's already seen
Well,
Iron Beak Owl.
Yeah, he saw Owl already, so this actually potentially could have been a huge threat, but he does have the Peacekeeper.
I actually really like Shredder in combination with Van Cleef. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. Do you think he's gonna make
Hype's been playing a lot of Shredder in his rogue decks.
Yeah, I think Shredder's just a really efficient minion. Oh, look at this. He's gonna play around Big Game Hunter as well. This is really smart stuff here.
Yeah, definitely.
Killing all day. Sludge Belcher in hand.
Okay, so we definitely have to see Peacekeeper, right?
I don't necessarily think you have to. I actually think there is some merits to Sludge Belchering here.
I guess that's true, right? Because he still has to go through it. He could sap it, but then you're still not really too sad because he's going to have to sap one of your minions eventually anyway.
Right,
but
so
I
if he
think
saps
Peacekeeper's just... Go ahead.
Well, sort of looking at it, if he saps the Sludge Belcher, I guess it depends on what his follow-up is. So, like, if he has saps the Sludge Belcher and has a minion, I think you're in trouble. But if he just saps... Oh my gosh, Tinker Oil gets drawn.
Wow.
And... just gonna...
I'll let you play it this turn, but it's still really good to have for later.
Yeah, I'm just going to load up the board and start picking stuff away. So you can say goodbye to this Shielded Mini-Bot or this Eldor Peacekeeper. I think I would like to see him kill the Eldor.
Yeah, but he's just going to go face.
Wow, he's just killing all day.
Well, he wants to save the dagger charge because he has Tinker Oil and Blade Flurry.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. He does have the equality to clear. I don't think you're ever going to see a better board to equality here than you do right now against Rogue.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty tough.
He's going to go for Knife Juggler, it looks like, though.
Yeah, I don't think you get too greedy here. I think you equality and consecrate and then just play Knife Juggler or token up afterwards.
Right.
Like right now, I don't think you need to be greedy. I think you need to just get the job done.
Yeah, and you saw 2 Shredders, right? So you're not really worried about Shade.
Yep.
Otherwise, I would see merit in holding the Consecrate.
Yeah, I like just token here and go for the Dome. So killing all day, down to 11 now. And Backstab gets drawn. So he's got ways to kind of, deal with what's on the board, but he's got to deal 18 points of damage, and then he's got to worry about what Kai is going to be able to follow this up with.
I guess you have to Blade Flurry, right? But you don't feel good about it.
Oh, you got to. I think you feel terrible about this Blade Flurry. But, I mean, what else can you do?
It's either that or you just pass.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, something like Auctioneer is one of his better draws right now. I don't know if he has a copy of Auctioneer in here, but Sludge Belcher's going to come down. Yeah, Sludge Belcher's going to come down, and not going to come down quite yet. Oh, it's 9 mana. For whatever reason, I thought that was 8. So it is going to come down here. And this is bad news. Oh, Preparation gets drawn. It's got to be one of the worst cards in the deck.
So now I think you just play your hand and punch the Sludge Belcher, and then just go to the next game. Oh, this feels so bad.
He's got to have
something.
something.
He's going to replay it.
Yeah, I mean, he can still, if he draws in something like Sprint, though, he can prep Sprint and then
yeah, it's true.
The right combination of cards.
Sap or...
Yeah, I don't think he's really out of this one yet.
Yeah,
Big Game Hunter.
Auctioneer would do it too.
Yeah, I think you play this Big Game Hunter too. I think you just get pressure on the board. You just got such a lead.
Yeah, and you already saw Blade Flurry, so it's definitely strong.
All that's to worry
so
about. Oh,
it's not. Hey,
he didn't play around Betrayal here.
Oh.
Yeah. Big mistake.
AP Drop would be really upset. He yelled at me the other day that I didn't play around Betrayal when we were practicing. And then the same day on ladder, I got betrayed. I was so sad.
You got to play around Betrayal. You just can. You might as well. You just always, if you can, you always can. You're never getting backed into a corner and you're like, I don't have time to play around Betrayal here. I just gotta hope he doesn't.
You got dinner reservations. You're like, I'm just gonna slam my minions, and you get betrayed.
This movie's starting in 15 minutes. We gotta get out of here. Our Uber driver's about to leave. Yeah, that's gonna be game 1. Over to Kai, killing all day. Still got his rogue deck available. but I think Kai is really happy to have beaten Rogue with Paladin.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a pretty big sigh of relief.
That's actually another reason why Rogue started coming really popular, right? Because Paladin was just crushing everything. And then people started playing Rogue to beat the Paladins, too. So that's another reason.
Yeah, I think that really makes a lot of sense too, because Paladin had like taken a backseat for so long, and so had Shaman, and those are two of the decks that I think that Rogue performs best against. Is against Paladin and Shaman,
Yep.
and now that you started to see a lot of Paladin come back and this smattering of Shaman here and there, it makes a lot of sense the deck would rotate back into the mix.
Yep, definitely. It's actually really interesting. There's so many viable decks right now.
Yeah, that's something that's like really crazy to me, is that there are that many viable decks, because it's like you would think that like in most card games it's sort of like the best decks really float towards the top, and there's not a ton of counterplay involved outside of that, but like you just don't see that on ladder. I mean, you see a lot of the best deck, but you see all sorts of stuff across the board. People with lots of different kinds of opinions on how to beat stuff. So game 2 about to get underway here, and it's going to be Hunter for Kellen all day, and it's going to be Druid for Kai. Why do you think that Killen swapped away from his Rogue build here?
I think he was just worried that he would get counterpicked. Like, I think it's most likely a lot of the players in this were just playing the same deck over and over until they won, just so they didn't kind of mind game themselves. But now that it's so late in the tournament, maybe he figured both players kind of caught on to that, so he swapped thinking he would have gotten counterpicked. It's just another weird thing to get used to with this format.
There's a Grove Tender in Kai's hand, too, by the way.
I'm so excited.
Do you think this
love
is
that card.
intended for card drawing, or do you think it's intended for ramping?
I mean, he has Wild Growth, so I don't really think he needs to use another one. But he does have a Dr. Boom. The faster Dr. Boom comes out, the faster you can win the game, right?
I like it.
Yeah. So, do you think there's merit to just playing this Freezing Trap? I think so, right?
I think I actually like playing Freezing Trap in this matchup, and it's because you really just don't have time to do it elsewhere, and you want to continue to develop like a really heavy curve. So if you don't play Freezing Trap now and instead you weave in the hero power, what ends up happening is if your opponent, like say they innervate out a threat here, you don't want to run Animal Companion into it. You oftentimes want to have Freezing Trap for the threat. So it's kind of like a preemptive play, and it's actually getting like really, really shot down by this Grove Tender.
It's like insane, because now you have to think, do I Hunter Spark this to protect my Freezing Trap?
I mean, this is like, I don't think you do. I think you do use the Haunted Creeper and the Eagle Horn bow to protect it.
Yeah, and you just bow it. Yeah.
But that's pretty brutal stuff. I mean, this Grove Tender turned into a 2/4 taunt. It's actually ramping him into his late game. And the Druid's going to use their mana much more efficiently than a Hunter would, I expect, once he gets to this stage. He's just going to go for the dome. All right, so pedal to the metal, killing all day. Straight.
He's just killed him.
Yep.
Straight killed him.
He's just representing. So Grove Tender going to get returned here. Extra charge on that bow. Not a ton of damage available. You know, I actually think that depending on the way his deck is built, it may make a lot of sense for him to have done this. I actually also would like to see 2 Shades here as well, because you're not preventing too much damage here, and you're not going to find a better turn for these Shades. Wow, Huffer gets picked up.
You got a hero power here. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
So, wow, he's actually going to keep his Haunted Creeper around too. So, this says
that's a really good play, actually.
Yeah, it's good because he keeps himself around swipe also, but secondarily, it kind of signals to me that he may have something like Houndmaster in here, and there's a bigger chance that he wants to get it active.
And he's also like bluffing Kill Command too.
Yeah. Ironbeak Owl is really good position here.
Yeah. I think he's just going to play this Sludge Bell Spinner pass, though. Well, and the Web Spinner. I think this is a really good play.
Yeah, just looking for efficiency and mana. Ooh, Kel'Thuzad gets drawn, so Dr. Boom's going to hit the board. But you got Ironbeak Owl and Unleash the Hounds. And an Animal Companion.
This could be Leok. Oh my god. If this is Leok, it's going to be a lot of damage.
I think you go for it.
Come on, roll it. Roll it.
I think you got to go for the animal.
You have to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get Leok here, do you just owl this? I think you just owl anyway, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Then you trade the web spinner and go face. Oh, he's just gonna go all face?
He's just going face with everything. Even
He's
with
killing all day.
the bow. He's killing all day. Down to 3. Oh my gosh! Agent of War gets drawn right after Iron Beagle gets used.
And he already uses Hunter's Mark.
Oh my gosh, that is a massive turnaround. Boombots.
I think that was the best boom bot.
Oh, they're going everywhere. Oh, one to the base. That's brutal.
Just like flick him in the nose. You're like, not going anywhere yet.
Oh my gosh. And Killing All Day has no way to play around a 5-10 right now. He needs a big pickup. Kill Command, he's a couple points short.
Pretty close.
So this web
He can
spinner.
get an owl.
Yeah, the web spinner could actually win the game here.
Yeah, he can get an owl right here.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
This is so crazy. Oh, he gets King Mukla.
You can say this is bananas. It's okay. I know it was bad, but I had to go for it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this is so brutal.
Can you even play that? Like,
I don't
it
think
just
so.
does, and it makes your
Second
top
Agent of
bigger.
War gets drawn.
Oh my god. Do you think he has a Hunter's Mark or Owl? Because if he doesn't, I don't think this... Oh wait, no, he just wins, right? Oh no.
No.
He gets the armor.
Yeah, he's 1 damage out of range right now.
Oh
So
man.
he needs to find 1 point of damage.
This is
Slug
brutal.
Crusher came back. Oh, he has no way to kill his own web spinner.
No, he can kill command it and then get Owl and still win. Okay?
No, he
Oh, no.
can't do that. His opponent's got 2
He's
tons
out
on
of
the
mana.
board.
Yeah.
7-13. He's facing down lethal too. It's just it.
How funny would that be if there's only one taunt, you just kill command your web spinner, get lethal? Oh man. Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can get off your web spinner that would be worth kill commanding, but what can you even do? Because you can't kill the Kel'Thuzad. You can't kill anything else because they just come back.
You can't do anything. The Kel'Thuzad is just it's rip. Yeah.
He's doing it.
He wants to know though. Maybe King of Beasts could buy him a turn.
King of Beasts.
It'd soak up 5 points of damage, 13, 14, 15. They'd still be facing lethal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Just way more than enough damage for Kai here. And now taking a 2-0 lead. So he's got up to 3 games to win 1 with his last deck, which might be a good one. It's Mage.
It's Mage. Alright, so what's your bet on this one?
I think it's green skin Blingtron Mage. That's what I think it is. Mech Mage, of course. I always think it's Mech Mage. It's got to be Mech Mage.
Blingtron Mech Mage or just normal Mech Mage?
It wouldn't surprise me to see Blingtron. You know, when Raynad had water elementals in there, just to have an extra threat that was like really efficient on the body side of it, but then also had Blingtron to follow that to shut off their weapon while you had one of your own. I thought that was actually really good.
It's like pseudo charge too, right?
Yeah, and people have sort of made adjustments to these mid-sized bodies. You know, you're going to see like Hunter's Mark has kind of found its way back into the mix. Mirror entities are starting to show up in a lot of these Mech Mage decks to try to pull an extra edge. So, you know, they're making the trade-off of losing a potential big body in something like Water Elemental, and what they're trying to get off of it is just extra tempo. So I can see it going both ways, and I think that when it's favored tempo, you probably should also try to favor tempo as well, until it gets to a point where just sheer aggression is going to beat tempo plays better than trying to fight it back with tempo of your own.
Right. Yeah, I like Blingatron, and I think the reasons you pointed out, like people playing Hunter's Mark and just mid-range stuff, having a really high chance of getting weapons that can kill the mid-range minions is definitely something you should consider as well.
Yeah, I think Blingtron really can pull a lot of weight in that deck. Also, like way early on, Darquanix had a version of Mech Mage that had mirror entities in it, and he played Mana Worms in the 1-drop slot also. So he was using Cogs to buffer the Mana Worms, and he had Blingtron in there to, have Snow Chuggers to shut off your opponent's weapons, of course, but he also had mirror entities to sit behind oftentimes when you had the Blingtron down. So you'd play Blingtron and mirror entity, and he would soak up the charges from there and go forward from there. Killing All Day has got a Freeze Mage deck.
Wow.
Which is this is the curveball he's throwing in there, right? He just plays aggro decks, and then he's like, hey, here's my Freeze Mage deck. Deal with it.
I was pretty close. He's freezing minions and killing shit all day.
I think it's crazy that that's even a possibility right now. So he's going to go with the old Mech Warper Clockwork. Nope, this is almost certainly going to be a ping from Killing All Day.
My God. And he's got the second one.
Yeah, and then it's going to be second Mech Warper and a Spider Tank. This is looking really brutal for Killing All Day straight away.
And he's got the Cloak Field.
Yep, and Affinity Cloak Field. Wow, look at how much power Supreme Kai's got on the board on turn 2.
Crazy.
Killing All Day's got to find
You just have to draw cards.
Yeah, I think so. Arcanine looks like him. Pretty unfortunate, I think, to have drawn Ice Barrier there. No help so far. And it's going to be joined by a Cogmaster. He can fix anything, including you. And 7+1 from the hero power. Come across the board. Killing All Day down to 20 on turn 3.
Wow. And he still has a way to deal with the board.
Yep. Acolyte of Pain.
He needs an intermit.
He needs more than that. Oh, that pain's gonna speak to him, all right. He's gonna get some pain spoken to him. I can't imagine.
So bad.
Oh my gosh, another Cogmaster gets picked up. If Blizzard was 5 mana, this game would be winnable.
I remember when Blizzard was 5 mana.
I remember it too. Those were miserable days.
Those were the best days.
Oh, even if you got these starts, you still lost with the aggro decks. I'd like to see him play the Cogmaster here as well. But, he is going to be a little bit concerned about Frost Nova Doomsayer. I think it's the one thing that's on his mind.
And he can't quite play the Fireball in ping yet, so...
Yep. So he's just going to go Frostbolt to the face just to be mana... Oh, he's going to... Okay. Yeah, Frostbolt to the face just to be as mana efficient as possible. Ice Lance gets picked up. So, still the potential, actually, to climb out of this one.
Yeah, and he does have Ice Barrier to gain some life. There's Alexstrasza, which is going to be really good. Still needs to get there first.
Not dead yet, but my gosh, is he going to be low. Oh, another Frostbolt gets picked up, too. Ice Barrier is going to get seen. I think that second Frostbolt actually just did it.
Yeah, I think that's game. He could draw Ice Block to stall another turn, but don't really see how he could win.
Cogmaster going to get played, and I imagine he's just going to Frostbolt again. It's exactly what he did last turn.
Yep.
Oh, he does. That's
really interesting.
I guess it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, he could always do it next turn.
How's your opponent going to gain 1 life? They're just not gonna. So Blizzard has to play here. And that's gonna do it. Killing All Day is gonna drop 15 points of direct damage getting dealt by Supreme Kai's spells. Frostbolt and Fireball. Wow, what
turn 6
opening. That is a brutal opening. That's like back to the old Backspace Rogue.
Yes.
Gosh, that was disgusting.
Just double cold-blooded Argent Squires.
Is there a better open than hands that involve 2 copies of Mech Warper?
No, and I don't think it matters what class you're playing if you have 2 Mech Warpers.
Just Mech Warpers and things.
Just Mech Warpers, any mechs you feel like playing, and you got a deck.
You just play 2 Mech Warpers, and then you're like, Demolisher.
Hey man,
I don't even know what the
one really good with Hobgoblin.
What's the 1/4 Wind Fury called? You were playing that earlier.
I don't even know. I just know he makes machine gun noises.
I'm just not. He's like the. Do you remember the machine gun whirlwind guys from Warcraft 3 that the humans
they came
made?
From behind.
Yeah, those are the greatest ones. All right, so good job over to Killing All Day. Fought his way through a big field to get to this point. Unfortunately, he has to lose here, but someone's gotta. And Supreme Kai, he's going to be moving on to the finals now with a 3-0. And wow, what a dominant performance! Killing All Day, he swapped decks in every single one of those. I would have liked to see him kind of stick with the same one and try to get a win because, I can see I like the rogue swap like you said because he lost a matchup that was favorable for him.
Mm-hmm.
But after the last one, I don't know if Freeze Mage really matches up versus Mechs that well.
Right.
I don't really know the match.
Well, it really comes down to how explosive the next start is and if you have the Frost Nova. So if you have Frost Nova Doomsayer before they can Fireball Ping, and they don't get reverse switch, which is another thing you have to worry about. Because if they get reverse switch off of the Clockwork Gnome, then your Doomsayer just gets killed for free.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really hard to win that game. But if you can stall until you get to like turn 6, 7 without being too low, like dying to Fireball, then I feel like you could win the matchup. But it can't be really too favored because they do have so much damage early.
Yeah. I feel like once you get to that point where you're able to, get to turn 7, turn 8, and you're not in Fireball range, I feel like at that point you really have found a ton of your win rate.
Right.
Like, once you're in Fireball range, though, it takes you kind of so long to kill them, but they have, like, 4 or 5 turns sometimes to draw Fireball, and you're like, no! It's because they're going to have to do it so often by then.
Right, and it turns off, like, it makes your Mad Scientist 50-50, right? Like, you need Ice Block. Ice Barrier doesn't help you.